It started when me, Johnny, Tarun, and Luca, we were classmates and we were accepted to the master's program called KinoEyes. It is Erasmus master's program. So we were called from different countries. We met in Lisbon and then we had to go to Estonia and then to Scotland. So we kind of met, all of us, here in Lisbon, and we were doing all the projects together. And our year was only the fourth year of this program, so they didn't have four sound designers before. I don't know, our types and our characters matched so well, so we started hanging out together a lot, doing all the projects a lot. It was also very helpful that all four of us had very different set of skills. Like, I came from music background and I was a full-time touring musician before joining the master's program. Tarun had also background in music, but he was more from the sound engineering part. Johnny had a big experience on recording sound on set, and Luca was a very good dialogue editor. So kind of all of us, all four of us together, made a perfect blend of skills that you need in order to sound design a film. One of our teachers referred to us in one of the emails the sound force, meaning that there was four of us, and it kind of stuck to us. And when we finished our first semester, we made our hoodies saying sound force and some like ninja with boom poles, and we were friends, we were working together, we had fun together. And eventually, after we graduated, three of us ended up in the same country, in Lisbon, and we kept doing what we like doing, spending time together, doing films, helping each other out, because that was something that brought us together in the first place.
I think one of the challenges that we face is, as all three of us are artists more than we are business people, so we're learning on the fly. We're not business people, but part of being an artist in, I don't know if it was ever different, but part of being an artist is also being an accountant, being a social media manager, being everything that you need to make the organization run. So I think that has been quite interesting to learn, how to actually run a business as opposed to just practice your art. All right.
It's basically organizing and knowing how to manage and organize and back up sessions and projects, because sometimes people come back to you after 2 years and there's a lot of projects and it's a bit messy, let's say, archiving our projects. That's a challenge. And another challenge is to get into the industry here while keeping good rates for us. Mostly animation films are the most interesting for me because there's a lot of space for sound designers. Recently, we did a short film called Lena. Before that, Let's Go Home is another project, and I really enjoy these animation films. There's a lot of space for sound designers, more than in fiction. فوت كل يوم ميني ماركت مطعم بنقي شو بدي بشتري من عندهم علبة حقها 3 يورو. إذا مطعم بيعطيني أكل شو باقي عنده، ميني ماركت بيعطيني خدمة.
I was trying to. The problem is that this is the. It's very hard to make it slow. I can make it multiple times, but it was like recorded. Or I can record it with this.
This is the main cue,
Yes.
so we have more.
Try in some places match the curtain, like the wave of the curtain. Like, does it do any big movement? Like something like.
Вот у вас так много детей, а вы не хотите от них отдохнуть?
And here where the cat is jumping,
Хотите от них отдохнуть?
also put some distant explosion maybe.
Here, don't cut to a
Ну,
nice
давайте
mood.
мы оформим им путевки, пускай поедут
Because
отдохнуть.
this
Да
part
кажу,
is
нет.
them still about in the occupation.
Вот вы понимаете, как я...
And this is the cat that she's talking
But in
here
the
about.
reference, it feels like the first shot should have this mood, then it cuts to birds and nature. And
I think here not yet. So they crossed somewhere around Kharkiv region back. And now they arrived to Kiev, somewhere in the Kiev region in the village. They got this house.
yeah.
So you can see how that village looks. Yeah, this is basically how it looks like. There's no big buildings or anything.
В окупації це все почалося. Дуже багато плакали, дуже багато.
The studio is fully DIY, and we did it fully ourselves. We pulled up all our resources, all the savings that we made, and just poured it into the studio. And then we were designing it so each of us can have fun while working. So there's a music part of it, which is like my playground. There's the big mixing room for Tarun as a playground. There's some like synthesizers, but also some microphones and also some other toys for Johnny to have fun with. So yeah, studio is doing different kind of work, and we're doing different kind of work in a studio. But there's a very big difference of having a studio as a business, as your own business, or working for somebody else's studio. Because obviously once you start doing anything you do professionally, things that you really enjoy and like doing become those that occupy the least amount of time. So for example, we started the studio as like, I was full-time composer and I was sound designing a lot, but now my job is mainly related to the production. So I do communicate with the directors, I do post-production supervision, I do budgets, I do invoices, and all of this kind of communication. So I spend most of my days with emails on my phone, with Excel sheets. And whenever I have actually a chance to compose, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, do I still even remember how to do that? Because it was taking so much, like there's such a huge gaps. But then without all of this work, it is impossible for me to compose, and it is impossible. Somebody has to take this work. It's just so all three of us, we divided this kind of boring jobs between us. So we also, and for all of us, the boring jobs take the majority amount of time, and then the least amount of time takes the actual skill and fun that we know how to do.
Obviously, I think the thing that we want to work on is we want to work on bigger projects that have a wider impact, that more people watch, the more people attend to, and have a wider reach. I think that's what we're aiming for. And we also want to expand the studio to have more facilities, to be able to do music more, and to be able to experiment with sound more, and have a space where we can practice our art in a way that's interesting to us. Yeah.